but we are also able to send an email. For now, created this form, and we will be able to create the automation that will actually send this email whenever a form is being submitted. Okay, so now we need to go back to the studio and take a first look at the database here for interactions. I have added these 3 new columns, one with a checkbox to know if it's an email to send, so through the interface, and we'll also have a subject and a body. So if I go in here in the contact details, I will see that for this form, I have mapped our new field email subject and email body. And for all the other fields, they are hidden. So it's when we send an email, it's always outbound. The contact we're sending it to is this contact here. The user that will be the author of that email will be the logged in user. We also get the timestamp and all the related values. And especially here, email to send is true. And that will be helping us to set up the trigger for that automation. So what will happen, the way we will design our automation is whenever there is a record that has true for this checkbox here, we want to be actually sending this email subject, email body to the contact that was selected from the related user's email. So we will go in here in our dashboard and in workflow, start from scratch, and we will then select the triggers, so what will start our workflow. And here we have to start it when a record meets certain conditions, and it will be so from our interactions table here, the condition is that this checkbox is true. Perfect. So whenever this checkbox is true, and it will check that for new records, we'll be triggering our workflow, the CRM sending. So then what is the next action that should happen? We can, I think, directly, if we test here to see what data we have available, we can then simply find the action that will enable us to send an email. So here is where you'll be able to set a specific sender email if you want. And we will be here mapping the email that should receive. It should be our contact here, exactly the email. Then for the subject, we will simply map, and I can also hit the @ sign to find the subject here. Perfect. And for the body, I will also simply add what we had here as the email body. And we will here make sure that all the replies go to, this time it was our user, the logged in user that was actually sending this email. Perfect. And then what we want to do is also to be, if we look back at our database here, this record looked a bit special. And what we would need to fill up is just here, map properly the contents of that interaction. And for that, we'll simply use here a Softr database update record, because the record already exists, but we just have to edit a value. So we'll be selecting this table again. And here we're being asked which record do we want to update. And we actually had that in the first step because it's the record that the automation was triggered for. So I'm just selecting here the record ID. And here in the fields, we really want to edit the content here. And we will do that dynamically. We will add a subject. And here map the email subject, that we had here, for example, and mail body. Perfect. So if we test that, we will see that our record here just got the proper documentation of how we were storing this data here. And it is very important because if you remember, we have mapped an AI chatbot field that is able to go through the interactions to understand what is happening within this deal. So having this text properly logged in the following way will really help our AI to have all the information available to answer your questions precisely. And once we're done, we can simply turn this one on. And now whenever someone will be filling up this form, it will send an email to the contact that I have selected